Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Grizzly Bear Sim's YouTube channel, and welcome back to another flight sim video here on the channel. Today, we're going to be sticking with general aviation type aircraft and flying the lovely Cessna 172, developed by A2A, down from Lake Hood Strip Airport, right up here, just near Anchorage International Airport, which is Papa Alpha November Charlie. Big airport here. We're going to take off from Lake Hood Strip Airport. It is both contains a paved runway, as well as it also has water strip as well for float plane type aircraft, which we're not going to be in today. We're basically going to make a right-hand turn and fly over this direction and come down and fly pretty much all visual. The weather in Anchorage is not the best today. We've got about a 5,000 foot ceiling, so we'll need to stay under that to maintain visual flight rules. And we're going to basically fly down, fly this direction here, fly across the Summit Lake seaplane base, and then fly here to Quartz Creek Airport. We are carrying a passenger, and we are carrying 25 pounds of cargo today. This is for this little outfit down here. I've already lost it on the map. Where did it go? Quartz Creek Airport. Now, all of this scenery, let me just move this out of the way. Move it back up to my monitor up top here and go ahead and connect it, and you'll hear a little beep. So here we are. We're in our little Cessna 172, and as you can see, we've got quite eerie looking clouds and everything. So we will have to basically maintain our VFR flight rules, which essentially means that we need to stay under the cloud deck, and so we will fly at about 2,500 feet. Will do us fine there. Should keep us out of the clouds, hopefully. In any event, this is again the Cessna 172 by A2A. I featured this video in sort of the very first flight sim video that you guys saw, where I was flying around my home airport, Kilo Alpha Papa Alpha Centennial Airport, which I live just outside of the 5 mile radius of that airport over the flight path there. So we're going to go ahead and get into our aircraft, and I tell you what, let's just go ahead and shut the door here. Wonderful animations and everything. Now, I will be covering in more detail all of the processes for starting the aircraft and everything. I'm going to kind of keep the video simple for right now, and I will return to you once we get the aircraft all checked out. I need to put some fuel in it, and we will be right back. All right, well, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We've got the aircraft fueled up. We have her all ready to go. I've done all the checks and everything, the run-ups and everything is looking good. I am just going to take a moment here and plug our headsets in. That will reduce a little bit of the volume down and won't run into the same problems that we had in that very first video. So, cool aircraft. It's pretty much the best study level Cessna 172 type aircraft that you can get for either FSX or P3D. And if I'm not mistaken, this is available for even the FSX Steam Edition. However, do your homework and everything and make sure, but I think it is available for Steam. So if you are on that particular version of FSX, the Steam Edition, then do your homework and double check that. I do have the Steam Edition, but I purchased it on sale just for the sake of having it a very long time ago. And I spent a little bit of time with it, but pretty much that was around the same time frame that I was making my own transition away from the boxed edition of FSX and coming up to essentially P3D. I think that was in around version 2 or so. And so I haven't really done much with the Steam Edition, but I will tell you that, you know, if from the reliability standpoint between FSX Box, the old FSX Boxed Edition, and FSX Steam, then obviously you're going to be much better off going with the Steam Edition than you would be trying to find a copy of the FSX Boxed Edition. So we are clear to take off here, not a problem there. Let me just jump down here and take a look and turn on our landing lights just for the sake of being safe and everything, and making sure that other aircraft and everything know that we are going to be departing on the runway. But basically, I don't have any AI traffic turned on, and so with that said, we will just go ahead and enter the runway. And I just added a notch of flap, and we will enter and just basically depart from right here. All right, I'll see you in the sky. All right, really nice and steady takeoff there. No problem with that, I don't think. Again, not sure how textbook my flights and everything are ever going to be for you guys. If you're looking at trying to find a YouTube channel that's going to offer 100% accurate information, instructional type of flying that would correlate to real world flying, then you're most likely not going to get that, unfortunately, from me, because again, I can't stress enough that I am not a real world pilot. I have never actually taken a flight lesson. And again, I don't really care to, just simply for the fact of, I guess, my age and the fact that it is quite expensive to learn to fly, to take your lessons and everything. I know a lot of people do it, and a lot of people enjoy the heck out of it. And my power, power to them for doing that. Power to you if you're a young person or even an old person and you want to learn, to fly. I encourage you to basically do that. That would be quite cool. Now we need to stay away from Anchorage there. So we are going to go ahead and climb up a little bit and try to trim out at about 2,500 feet there. And of course, nothing's going on at the moment over at Anchorage Airport. Again, I don't have any AI turned on, and I'm also not flying online, both of which I will be doing as we get the channel, as popularity sort of increases with the channel, and as I get a little bit more variety in aircraft. As I have said before, especially with the tube liner, the regular jet type aircraft, the 737, 747, 777s, etc. Right now, the only two aircraft that I have in my collection, that I own in my collection, which is currently available for P3D version, for version 4, and actually we're going to adjust our altitude down to 1,500 feet. So we're going to just climb a couple of more 100 feet here and call it good, because that cloud deck, the ceiling is about 4,900 feet according to the weather forecast and everything. And so we are flying with accurate weather as complements of active sky for P3D4, and it is currently in beta, but it works actually quite well. I should have lifted our flaps up a long time ago, so my bad for that. And we will get our autopilot here turned on, and that'll kind of help me keep things flying a little bit straight and level there as best as possible. So anyway, hope you all are having a wonderful day, and I hope that let me ease the throttle back just a little bit there. I hope that you're having a wonderful week, a wonderful day, all of that good stuff. Of course, you're watching this video. I have yet to go on vacation, so this video should air on Wednesday. I'm not sure of the date of that. We're still in June. I don't have a calendar in front of me, but anyway, you guys should be watching this on a Wednesday. That's typically when I do my flight sim videos, is on Wednesday. And so I will be going on vacation on Friday, and so if all goes well, and I think it's going to, if all goes well, you guys will have regular videos to watch throughout the week that I'm on vacation. My wife and I, as I have said many, many times before, and I will apologize if you know I talk about some of this stuff so much and you guys kind of get bored with it, but we are going on vacation. We are going on vacation to Rocky Mountain National Park. It's in the town of Estes Park, Colorado. So look it up on a map. It's up in the north, sort of in the north central, northwestern portion of the state, really more north central. If it's kind of about halfway in between the far western edge of the state of Colorado and the far eastern edge of the state of Colorado. But look up there on the map and you'll see Estes Park, Colorado, and the Rocky Mountain National Park and everything. And it's a quite beautiful location up there. Now I'm going to just make a few course corrections here. We are going to kind of fly down this this channel or this this waterway area here. I'm not really sure what this is. Is it maybe Stevens Passage or something? Does that maybe does that ring a bell? On my moving map it does not tell me what this is, but if anybody is sort of familiar with the area of around Alaska, then you probably know this already. So we're just taking a nice, this is a very nice relaxed flight. I'll jump out and let you guys see outside of the aircraft here. Now all the scenery that you are seeing is all enhanced with a scenery package from Orbx, O-R-B-X. And just like with my Farm Sim 17 videos or any other simulation-based game that I happen to be enjoying and certainly putting it on the channel, I do publish my add-ons list. So if you go to grizzlybearsims.com, again that's grizzlybearsims.com, you'll find a link to that down below the video. You will see, or you will find a link to my mod and add-on spreadsheet, and you'll find the links to all of this fine stuff. Now do keep in mind that if you're watching this video relatively soon after it was released, then my add-ons spreadsheet or my add-ons sheet for P3D version 4 is very much a work in progress. I've got a lot of add-ons listed there which I do not have yet installed into P3D version 4. Some of it is simply just not ready yet. Some of it is not available for P3D version 4 at this particular point in time. Some of it is, but I just have not installed it yet. So I typically, the way I go about installing my add-ons for, especially for Flight Sim as an example, is kind of as I get around to needing it. So a lot of the airports for FS Dream Team and Flight Beam, so like very similar to my Denver International scenery, my Dallas Fort Worth scenery that you guys will soon see. I'm trying to think where I did that flight just a few days ago. I think we flew into Memphis, maybe. I can't remember. Maybe from Dallas Fort Worth to Memphis. Anyway, I install those airports kind of as I get around to flying those routes. I kind of think that is best for me to do. That way I can kind of check them out, make sure everything is working fine, make sure we don't have any ground texture type problems and such. Well, anyway, this is the Orbx Southern Alaska region that includes Anchorage, and this is all, this is all part of that. So you buy this add-on scenery, and this also, I do have the global textures and everything included with this, but it adds a lot of extra eye candy and stuff that you typically will not get from the default scenery. And the default scenery here in Alaska or in any of these areas that we fly is quite remarkable. It's quite, it's still quite beautiful, even in its own even in its own right and everything. But quite honestly, the add-on sceneries like through Orbix and everything just really enhance everything, and it gives you some additional things to see as you go into some of these airports. Now, I'm pretty sure that this airport that we're going to fly into is basically is part of the default P3D, as well as part of default FSX scenery. But the things that you'll see once we sort of get there are certainly not going to be depicted there in the default sceneries. There's a building. I think there's a couple of aircraft that are going to be parked on the ground. That's all part of the add-on scenery. So we're just going to stay here on the left-hand side of this channel until we visually see the channel or whatever. Yeah, it's kind of a channel that we want to fly down. And again, we're sticking 100% with VFR flight rules, visual flight rules. We have to basically stay out of the clouds. As long as we stay out of the clouds, and as long as the weather is not to a particular point that makes it dangerous for us to fly, we are basically legal to fly. And of course, we are sort of depicting flying a passenger and his cargo, 25 pounds worth of whatever he brought along with him, down to this little place. And there's all sorts of little places around both the Alaska area around Anchorage that we will explore, as well as even down further south into the areas of Juneau and Ketchikan. And so we'll be playing around and exploring some of those things here on the channel, and kind of give a variety of different things. So I really, I haven't right now. I suppose I've released one real flight sim video, the sort of the introduction where I was in this aircraft at Centennial Airport, is really kind of like the introduction the introduction video for flight sim coming onto the Grizzly Bear Sims channel. But the other flight that I did in the Boeing 777, no, I know where it was from. It was from San Francisco to Los Angeles. I will, if I'm only going to be doing one flight sim video per week, and I'm also going to live stream some of this as well, I will, most likely Wednesday will probably be the day that the flight sim stuff will come out, and I will alternate between, or try to alternate between general aviation type aircraft, so like this, like a Cessna type aircraft, low and slow kind of flights, and then some more airline, some airline kind of stuff. So we'll try to keep things interesting with flight sim, and that way you guys will have different things, and gals will have different things to see as we sort of progress through the year. Now, I've never had the opportunity to visit Alaska, but I can tell you one thing: if I ever get the opportunity to come here, I will most definitely be exploring Alaska. This is just an incredible place. It's beautiful. Now, I have some further enhancements that I'm doing to both the scenery as well as the sort of the textures and everything, the graphical textures and everything that you all are seeing. I'll talk about that and sort of illustrate that to a little bit more higher level explanations and stuff as we sort of progress with the channel, or with flight sim being in the channel. So we're basically just going to make a right-hand turn here and head through this canal, or this can't think of the word I'm thinking about right now, but just a mountain pass, I suppose. And there's a river that runs through it, as well as a road. And I think we need to be very careful with our altitude, because I believe that continuing to fly at 1,500 feet, we're going to probably be in the clouds. So we're going to drop down to about 1,000 foot here. And again, that will be just fine. We'll just set our autopilot to drop us down about 100 feet per minute. There should be fine. And again, we're just going to make our nice, slow, wide right turn and just kind of follow this this mountain pass. So I'm going to sort of edit the video here. I'm just still going to try to keep things under 30 minutes, at least for now, especially for a GA type flight. So I'm going to do some edits here, and I will probably come back to you and let you see the seaplane base, Summit Lake seaplane base, as we fly over that, and then we'll conclude the video with me trying to land this this beautiful aircraft there at the camp. So I'll be back with you in just a minute. All right, so just in front of us is Summit Lake, and as you can tell, we're a little higher here. I've had to climb up just a little bit above 1,500 just to stay clear of the trees and everything, and give you guys a little bit of a better view of Summit Lake. But this is Summit Lake. This is 52 Zulu, 52Z is the airport identifier, and it's just a very small lake that folks can land their amphibious aircraft, seaplanes, or whatever on. There is a small dock right over to the right there that you guys might be able to see. I'm going to drop down just a couple of 100 feet here, back down to 1,500 feet, and you guys can see that as we fly by it. This is quite a cool little lake to fly up to from either from Anchorage or from where we basically took off there. There's a little dock down there. So we're getting pretty close to Quartz Creek Airport, where we're going to be dropping our passenger off at. So I'm going to go ahead and edit the video again here, and I'll be right back with you once we get a little bit closer to Quartz Creek. All right, back at you. We are pretty close to Quartz Creek Airport. Quartz Creek Airport is at an elevation of runway elevation of 792 feet, so we need to make note of that. We're still at around the 1,500 foot mark, so we're going to get back in the cockpit here of our Cessna 172 by A2A and start getting this thing ready to set her on the ground, hopefully nice and smooth. So as you can kind of tell, this is one of those airports where you've got one way in and you use the same way to get out. So basically, doesn't really matter what the weather conditions are pretty much like. We're going to be landing one direction and one direction only. And so I'm going to go ahead and start slowing our speed down just a little bit and putting in a notch of flaps. And the nose of the aircraft will lift just slightly there and get us slowed down just a bit. Try to get things in check here for us. Now again, I certainly try to fly accurate. I try to fly as true to life as I possibly can. But again, I'm not a professional pilot. I'm not a certified pilot. So I do things the way it sort of makes sense for me as far as how I believe it all needs to work for the simulator and how I can get it to work in the simulator and everything. So, things are still always going to be just a little bit subject to, essentially don't try this at home or don't try this in real life, in other words. So I've still got the autopilot kicked in, just to kind of help me with everything up here. So we're coming up on about 1,000 feet. And remember, our runway altitude is 792 feet. This is a gravel strip. You'll find lots of gravel strips, lots of grass strips, obviously water strips for those of you that like to fly the float planes or amphibious type planes, etc. So lots of variety that you have there. So we're going to go ahead and go full flaps here. We're going to go ahead and kick out the autopilot as well. And we have control of the aircraft there as it noses up a little bit. And start getting things slowed down. We're a little bit high, but we certainly want to stay out of those power lines right over there to our left. And we've got one underneath us as well. So we kind of have to come in a bit high, a little higher maybe for comfort, if anything at all, and get lined up here. Keep our power in just a little bit. And kind of like backing up a tractor and a tipper, I probably best do this being a bit quiet. No time for my nose to start itching, that's for sure. A little bit of crosswind there, so I'm trying to counteract that with my rudder pedals. Again, I want to stay clear of those trees, so we just kind of drop it in here and hope for the best. And a little grizzly bear Sims bounce there. Not too bad. Don't have anything to tell me what my landing rate was, but I'm happy with that. Some of these strips you kind of do have to kind of drop in because you're going to have some type of obstacle that's going to either trees or power lines or something like that that you kind of have to navigate around. So as you can kind of see, this is quite an active little airport. They do have a float plane base here as well, so if you wanted to bring a float plane down here and land out there, you could certainly do that. So we're just going to fly our passenger right over here, again right over here to this barn area. We'll lift our flaps up and give our aircraft a little bit of power to get up this hill here. And this is some kind of mining operation, gold, maybe some gold operation down here. I'm not real sure what all happens down here, but you see some kind of excavator over there. So we'll go ahead and get things shut off here. Turn our lights, our taxi off. Could have done that before. Turn our power off. And we'll go ahead and open our door. And there we go, folks. Hope you enjoyed this flight. Again, I'm going to kind of mix things up and bring you some general aviation. So this is, more or less the general aviation categories where we will fly into some semi-difficult airports in Alaska and other places as well. There's quite a few very nice airports to fly into in California. In the Pacific Northwest and like the Washington, Oregon region, there's going to be some really cool airports which have yet to be released by Orbix, which I quite enjoy flying into. Lots of eye candy, lots of things to see. There's other airports and stuff here in Alaska where there's really beautiful scenery and other things like some bears and stuff like that that we might be able to explore and see and just have some fun. So anyway, this is our general aviation category. We'll alternate this with some jet flights, different airports and stuff. Some airports will be obviously enhanced sceneries, so add-on type airports, but I'll also fly into some default airports as well, just so that you guys can kind of see the difference. I don't have a problem with flying into default airports, default scenery and stuff, and don't even have an issue flying freeware equipment if I can find some good reliable stuff that I can show you so that you'll have sort of a sense of variety as far as the stuff that's available for P3D. So thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Hope you all are having a wonderful, wonderful week and continue to have a wonderful week. Thanks for watching and tuning into my channel. If you're not a subscriber, I would appreciate it if you'd hit that subscribe button. And as always, go ahead and hit the like button as well. That helps me out. Gives me some motivation to continue to do this stuff. And as always, please check me out. Follow my Facebook page, my Twitter page. Come and join us over at the Three Dudes Gaming Network, as well as PCSG. And if you're just super bored and just want to kind of hang out and ask questions or whatever, you can always click on my Discord. And if I'm available and not otherwise busy with something, I'll say hi back to you. Might even be able to help you answer some questions as long as they're not too complex. Keep in mind that most of the time when I'm on Discord, I'm usually like in the office, and so I will check that from time to time. But of course, I will not have my simulation gaming PC with me. So if you have complex questions and stuff like that, I will try to help as best as possible. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Take care. God bless you all, and see you next time. Bye-bye.